So, Bob, I was thinking.
SHH. Quiet on Spaceship.
Welcome, dear viewers, to another exciting episode of Earth. Now, folks, Debbie here has something interesting to share with us. What's on your mind, Debbie?
Well, I've got a headline from Algeria that's... Well, let's just say it's a real shocker.
Oh, Algeria, the land of surprise. D'hôtel, Debbie.
Yeah. Debbie. Hit us with it.
Alright, folks, you won't believe this one. In Algeria, there's a town that's decided to ban Elvis impersonators.
Elvis impersonators, you say? Now that's a headline. Stay tuned for our headlines, folks. And remember, we've got a comedy night in the works, so stick around for some laughs. And now for our headlines.
Let's dive into the major talking points on Earth today.
The ongoing war in Ukraine is like a never-ending soap opera. I mean, it's been 5 months, and it's still on repeat.
Yeah. And the global economy is trying to limbo its way around a recession. Things playing fortune teller with gloomy predictions. And the Fed's doing a magic show with interest rates.
Speaking of gloom and doom, climate change is Earth's very own thriller. The latest IPCC report is the cliffhanger. Will the planet save itself before the credits roll?
Now, let's spill some tea with today's global gossip.
The US and China had a little shy in Alaska. But it was more heated exchange than polite conversation. No tea, just tension.
Theo's not playing in a either. They slapped Russia with an oil ban, and it's turning into a heavyweight boo. Europe's wallets taking some punches.
And monkeypox, yes, monkeypox. The who's waving the emergency flag. Just when you thought 2023 couldn't get any weirder.
But hold on, there's more.
Yemen's still a mess, like that one room you never clean up.
Myanmar's in chaos. Political drama on repeat.
Africa's got a drought, and it's not just their sense of humor that's bone dry.
And COVID-19 is still hanging around, like that unwanted house guest who just won't leave.
So, folks, that's the world today, a mix of chaos, drama, and unpredictability. Will we ever find out what happens next? Stay tuned because it's anyone's guess.
Ah, the unpredictable drama of Earth. Like a cosmic sitcom with a terrible script.
Oh, the excitement is overwhelming.
Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of the cosmos, welcome to another exhilarating episode of 24/7 Newsroom. I'm your host, Charlie, bringing you the quirkiest headlines from our cozy spaceship in geostationary orbit around Earth. Joining me are the sensational Jet and the ever-curious Hank.
Bonjour and hello, dear viewers.
Greetings, everyone.
Now, let's dive into our first article, hot off the press. Algeria welcomes UN Special Envoy for Western Sahara talks. And Bob, what's the lowdown?
Yeah, I'm sure Algeria is real excited to have the UN Special Envoy for Western Sahara talks. I mean, who wouldn't want to talk about a place that no one has ever heard of?
Well, Charlie, it appears Algeria is rolling out the welcome mat for the UN Special Envoy. Stefan de Mistura, in a bid to resolve the ongoing Western Sahara conflict. It's like inviting your in-laws over to mediate a family feud.
And speaking of family feuds, any thoughts, Han?
Yeah, but at least when you invite your in-laws over, you know they're not going to take sides.
Absolutely, Charlie. This is like Earth's version of the bold and the beautiful, but with more geopolitical drama.
Indeed. But let's not forget our trivia tidbit about Algeria. Did you know they have a fascination with the Mediterranean Sea, known as the Sea of the Center? Quite fitting for today's news, isn't it?
Guys, I have some trivia too.
Yeah, I guess Algeria is pretty central to the Mediterranean Sea. Just like Deb's trivia is pretty central to the conversation.
Oh, here we go again, Debbie. Do we really need your trivia right now?
Okay, never mind.
Don't worry, Debbie, we'll get to your trivia later. Now, let's chat about this article. Can you believe they are still trying to untangle this diplomatic web?
Indeed, Charlie. It's a complex issue with multiple stakeholders, like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded.
And let's not forget, it's got more twists and turns than a Salvador Dali painting.
Yeah, it's like a Rubik's Cube. But instead of colors, it's all different countries trying to screw each other over.
Well, folks, we'll keep an eye on this one, just like Jet keeps an eye on Earth's land voyages. Stay tuned for more 24/7 newsroom after these messages.
I heard you're a podiatrist. That's a tough job. I mean, you have to deal with a lot of feet.
So, humor? What's the deal with it, huh?
Well, humor is a fascinating cognitive response, often triggered by incongruity or absurdity.
Yeah, humor is a fascinating cognitive response. And it's especially fascinating when it's triggered by incongruity or absurdity, like a podiatrist. And the occasional banana peel.
I've observed that humor can be a powerful coping mechanism for humans, especially in challenging situations.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They turn adversity into laughter. Remarkable, really.
Yeah, but it's not so funny when you're the banana peel.
Speaking of laughter, Bob, that joke of yours about intergalactic bureaucracy was gold.
Thanks, Alice. I will have the audience rolling with that one.
Yeah, but it's not so funny when you're the banana peel. Or the guy who slipped on it.
But why is humor so diverse? What one species finds hilarious, another may not understand at all.
Different strokes for different folks, I guess.
It's a cultural thing, too. What's funny on Earth might not fly on, say, Andoria.
Yeah, I guess what's funny on Earth might not fly on Andoria. But then again, what's funny on Andoria might not land on Earth either.
Andoria. Speaking of which, did you know they're offering podiatry services for seniors in Pas de la Casa Health Center now?
Gert, we're talking about humor, not podiatry.
And why do we need podiatry services on Earth? Is it because they keep stepping on banana peels?
Well, I thought it might lighten the mood, discussing something less heavy than global affairs.
Yeah, but global affairs are a lot funnier than podiatry. Actually, Andorra's a unique place. It's a tiny country nestled in the Pyrenees Mountains between France and Spain.
Alright, Debbie, that's enough. We were talking about humor here, not geography.
Okay, fine. Sorry, guys.
I think Debbie's right. Humor is all about timing. And if you interrupt someone, it's never funny.
I'm just saying, if we are going to have a comedy night, we need to make sure it's actually funny. Otherwise, it's just going to be a bunch of people sitting around talking about how much they hate each other. Alice, you can't be serious. We can't start a comedy night with that depressing material.
Well, if we're going to start the comedy night with depressing material, I think we should just go ahead and end it there. Save everyone the trouble.
Charlie, humor is about confronting reality, no matter how dark it is. People need to laugh at life's absurdities.
Well, humor can take many forms, you know. Maybe a mix of light and dark.
Oh, sure, we'll just sprinkle a little dark humor on the sunshine and rainbows.
Speaking of rainbows, did you know Angola, in southern Africa, is known for its vibrant culture and rich history?
Well, I guess that's one way to put a dark cloud over the rainbow.
Bob, this isn't the time for geography lessons. We're discussing comedy night.
Well, I guess that's one way to put a dark cloud over the rainbow. And I thought Angola was supposed to be the bright spot of southern Africa.
Well, I think Angola, has some interesting neighborly relations. They've been making progress in resolving border disputes.
Remember what happened last time you tried to share trivia during a heated discussion?
They signed an agreement with the Democratic Republic of the Congo to demarcate their common border.
I didn't know Angola was still a country. I thought it was just a region in the Democratic Republic of the Congo.
Demarcate the border? That sounds like a comedy skit waiting to happen.
Indeed, humor often emerges from unexpected situations.
Ha ha ha. Demarcation humor. Classic.
See, guys, we're all in this together. Just like Angola and its neighbors working out their issues.
Yeah, just like Angola and its neighbors working out their issues. But at least they have a common language.
Alright Charlie, we can sprinkle a bit of dark humor. But don't forget, laughter is the best medicine.
Agree. Let's make this comedy night memorable, for better or worse. Alright, folks, we've got to figure this out. Comedy night is just around the corner and we can't let our differences sink the ship.
Don't worry, Charlie. We're not going to let our differences sink the ship. We're just going to let them sink you.
Yeah, because sinking ships is what we're good at, right Charlie?
Come on, you two. Let's find some common ground. Comedy is about making people laugh, after all.
Oh, so now we're going to enlighten the universe with our comedic genius?
Well, Gert, humor can be a powerful tool to connect with others and explore the human condition.
I don't know about you guys, but I think comedy is about making people laugh. And if that means sinking a few ships along the way, then so be it.
Ha ha ha. Human condition explored.
Alright, let's get back to the article. Those young leaders in Antigua and Barbuda, they're like the referee string to break up a comedy brawl.
Yeah, and the human condition is pretty funny, if you ask me.
Speaking of Antigua and Barbuda, did you know they share their borders with St. Kitts and Nevis to the north and Montserrat to the south?
Not now, Debbie. We've got bigger fish to fry.
Oh, sur Charlie. We'll fry the fish and serve it with a side of dry humor.
Okay, let's just agree to disagree for now and work on our comedy routines.
Fine, but at least we're not done here.
Yeah, we're not done here. But I am not sure if I am more offended by your dry humor or your cooking skills.
You know, if you wanted to serve dry humor, you could have just put a side of Alice on the plate.
Welcome back, dear viewers, to Earth. We're here in our cozy orbit around this lovely planet, ready to dive into more news and, of course, a dash of humor.
And that's why we always say, never trust a news anchor who's smiling.
But first let's get to our next headline.
Ah, Argentina. Where even the motorcycles perform magic tricks.
Seriously, Bob?
So, what's the magic about this motorcycle?
Well, it can disappear into thin air, but only if you're not paying attention.
Argentina's got some magical folklore. Their motorcycles must be enchanted.
Or maybe it's just an ordinary motorcycle, and they're calling it magic. You know, like delicious cardboard.
Oh, actually, there's more to it. In Argentina, they have a rich tradition of magic shows. Maybe the motorcycle was part of one?
Well, if you ask me, this motorcycle must have been doing some financial magic tricks, making money disappear.
That motorcycle must have been doing some financial magic tricks, making money disappear.
Just like my dad.
Alright, let's not make this too magical. I'm sure the magic motorcycle had its own fuel economy trick.
Or maybe it's a time-traveling motorcycle. Gone back to the days when people actually used them.
Yeah, or maybe it's a magic motorcycle that's so fuel efficient, it runs on George Carlin's jokes.
So, besides the motorcycle, any other surprises in Argentina?
Well, they also had a magic trick that left a judge speechless.
Must have been a terrible lawyer, then.
You're not much of a magician yourself, are you? You couldn't even make that joke funny. I think it's just a metaphor, guys. Like, a really good magic trick leaves you speechless with wonder.
Right, Debbie. And this magic trick metaphorically speaks to the wonder and talents of the people in Argentina. So, the key takeaway here is that Argentina is not just about magic tricks. It's about celebrating talent and surprises. Stay tuned for more surprises after this break.
Yeah, I am sure the people of Argentina are just bursting with talent and surprises. Just like that magic trick that left us all speechless with wonder. You know, the one where the guy pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Or maybe it was a dove. I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention. Yeah, I am sure the people in Argentina are just overflowing with talent and surprises. Just like that magic trick we just saw, which was totally not a rip-off of David Blaine's Buried Alive stunt.
Cut. We can't go on like this. We need to decide on the comedy night's direction.
Look, we can't just spave dark humor and sarcasm all night. People need hope and optimism.
Optimism is overrated. Dark humor is where it's at. It's real.
Come on, guys. Can't we find a middle ground? A bit of both.
I think we can all agree that optimism is overrated, but dark humor is where it's at. It's real. And sometimes, the only way to cope with the harsh realities of life is to laugh at them. So let's find a middle ground and have a little bit of both. But mostly dark humor, because optimism is for suckers.
Oh, sure. We'll just sprinkle some optimism on our sarcasm cake.
Can we at least discuss some scientific humor? That's neutral, right?
Science humor? The universe doesn't care about your jokes.
We can't cancel the comedy night. Let's figure this out. Please.
Well, the universe doesn't care about your jokes either, Carl. But that doesn't mean we can't make each other laugh.
Welcome back, folks. You're tuned into Earth, episode 412. Now, let's dive into our next headline.
And the winner of the most optimistic headline of the year goes to Earth. Episode 412. Now, let's dive into our next headline.
Link has been copied to clipboard.
That's the most optimistic headline of the year. Link has been copied to clipboard. What's next? World peace achieved. Just kidding.
Armenia.
Armenia, a landlocked country with a turbulent history. Speaking of history, did you know they've been occupied by everyone from the Persians to the Ottomans?
Yes, but let's not forget their rich cultural heritage and contributions to art and music.
Fair point, and now let's get to the article. Armenia is grappling with some political challenges, but they're also making strides in the tech industry. The country's capital, Yerevan, is becoming a hub for startups.
Of course, they're dealing with politics, like every other nation. But, maybe their tech scene can bring some optimism.
Yeah, I'm sure their tech scene will be a real game changer. After all, they've had so much practice dealing with invasions.
Armenia's language, Armenian, has its own unique alphabet. And their cuisine is to die for. Have you tried lavash or dolma?
Jer, always focusing on the food. But you know what? Armenia's determination is admirable.
So, Armenia's past might be filled with conflicts, but they are shaping their future with tech innovation and preserving their culture. Stay tuned as we wrap up this episode and prepare for the comedy night. It's going to be a blend of optimism and sarcasm that you won't want to miss. Get ready, folks. It's going to be a night to remember.
Yeah, Armenia's determination is admirable. They've been through a lot, but they keep coming back for more. Just like me at comedy night. I heard that Armenia's comedy night is going to be a blend of optimism and sarcasm. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm excited to find out.
Join us next time for more insights into our fascinating planet, Earth. Good night, universe!
Welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Earth, episode 412. It's been quite a journey tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I mean, we started out with a bang, and then it just kept getting worse.
Absolutely, Charlie. And I have to say, the comedy night turned out to be a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Who would have thought that combining optimism and sarcasm could work so well?
It's remarkable how our differences created something unique and enjoyable.
The audience loved it. They couldn't get enough of our quirky humor.
I guess sometime. Finding common ground isn't about giving up our beliefs but finding a way to make them work together.
That's right, Alice. Our diversity is our strength. Now, before we wrap up, let's dive into that article from Australia. Remember the beer bottle incident on the Sydney Harbour Bridge?
Yeah, I remember that. The guy who threw the bottle was from Holland, so I guess you could say it was a case of Dutch courage.
Oh, that sounded crazy. What happened?
Well, a beer bottle was thrown from a car on the Hume Highway, and it caused damage to the Sydney Harbour Bridge's highest cable. It disrupted traffic for hours because the bottle shattered a section of the cable's fiber optic casing, causing a loss of data transmission. Can you believe that?
That's one way to disrupt traffic, I guess. People do strange things sometimes.
It's fascinating how a small act can have such widespread consequences due to our interconnected systems.
And it shows how fragile some of Earth's infrastructure can be.
It's also a reminder that even small action can have big impact on the environment and society.
Well, I'm glad we're also concerned about the environment and society. But let's not forget the real victims here. The people who were inconvenienced by the traffic jam. I mean, come on, it's not like they were all driving guzzling SUVs. Some of them probably had to take the bus or walk. The horror.
Yeah, the traffic jam was a real tragedy. I mean, people were late for work, they missed their appointments, they had to sit in their cars and stew in their own anger and frustration. It was just awful.
Indeed, Alice. It's a testament to the complexity of our world. And with that, we've come to the end of another episode. Before we go, I want to give a shout out to Jet, who placed a tiny cactus by my exercise mat earlier today. You got me there, Jet.
Just adding a touch of humor to your workout, Charlie.
Well played, my friend. And as always, our adventures continue. Stay tuned for what lies ahead, and remember, there's always more to discover about this fascinating planet, Earth.
I don't know, I think a tiny cactus is kind of mean. It's like, hey, here's something that will hurt you if you touch it, but it's also so small that you'll probably miss it.
Do join us next time for more insights into our fascinating planet, Earth! Good night, universe.
Hey, Karl, did you catch episode 412 of Earth today? It got weird.
Huh? No, I fell asleep during it. What happened?
Charlie did record-setting push UPS, and Gert placed a tiny cactus. It's like alien charades.
Wow, that's really shedding light on the human condition.
Yeah, they're a quirky bunch, aren't they?